Once a week, our crew has simulated events. Our computers run a random generator to determine which group gets to have a simulation. This week it was the negotiation team. The negotiation team is composed of me, Nilux the Gomotrine, Nilia the Talin, and Cosmif the Grabulin. My team had never failed a training situation. Our situation was hostage rescue. The computer selected a random crewmate to be the hostage taker, a Terran named Bill. An odd name for a male, but we don't judge other species' names. The situation had Bill inside the mess hall, with 10 unarmed hostages, randomly selected from the ship's crew. He was heavily equipped and considered for the situation, too dangerous to attack head-on. We had to get him to either release the hostages and surrender, or find an opening to neutralize him. Bill was instructed to act just as he would in a real hostage scenario. It is a privilege for most to be the hostage taker, as it is a great excuse to unwind and act in a way you could never get away with ordinarily. We opened the comms to the mess hall. "Terran, what is your name?" Nilux asked, trying to gain rapport with the Terran, a classic in hostage negotiation. Bill's response was quick. "Wouldn't you like to know, Clanker?" It was clear that Bill was going to take a more antagonistic approach to this situation, although the name-calling was a bit too far. Neela was the next to speak. "Well then, Terran, what should we call—" "Terran works fine." Bill's words were colder than was typical for a human. "I have demands." I muted the comms. Demands? What could he possibly want? Demands aren't typical in this situation. I began to think that Bill was not taking the situation seriously. Cosmif spoke up. "Perhaps he means the terms of his surrender." Cosmif was a smart creature, but this seemed unlikely. From what little I knew of the Federation's newest member, it seemed unlikely they would surrender so quickly. Neela unmuted the comms. "What are these demands you speak of?" Neela was the least likely of us all to actually cave into another creature's demands. Perhaps we can meet some of them. This was likely to be a trap, knowing the Talon. "I want an escape pod," Bill responded. We all laughed. Neela was the only one able to speak through the laughter. "And what makes you think that we would give you that?" Bill seemed annoyed that we laughed, but what could you expect? From our point of view, Bill's only option was to surrender. Bill calmed himself. "If you don't get an escape plan for me in the next 10 minutes, I'm killing a hostage." This stopped our laughter. This was unheard of. No training manual has ever told us how to handle a hostage taker threatening to kill a hostage. Nilux finally broke the silence. "If you kill the hostages, you will lose what little leverage you have." Nilux's calculated mind was unmatched. There were never any holes in his logic. Bill broke this illusion. "I will kill one hostage then." Bill had turned from a goofy-looking engineer to a stone-cold killer in moments. "If I don't get a way out of here soon, one of these people will die." I muted the comm. I turned toward the situation mediator. "He's not allowed to do that." My shock was clearly visible to him. I could see a grin begin to form on the Terran mediator's face. He opened his stupid human mouth and said, "He is allowed to do anything he wants, so long as it is possible in the situation." Nilux responded, "But killing a hostage would not happen." "Clearly it would," the mediator said, seemingly holding back a laugh. "Has no one ever threatened a hostage here before?" "No, they haven't," I responded, more annoyed than I should have let myself become. The Terran smiled and said, "Really? That would have been my first move too." Clearly the human race was more prone to war crimes than previously thought. "Just to show you I'm serious, I'm killing one now," Bill said into the comms of the mess hall. He pulled out his firearm. It was to be considered deadly for the situation, though it was in reality set to stun. Bill shot one of the hostages in the back of the head. "You have 10 minutes." We catered to all his demands from this point on. We gave him an escape. We added cloaking to his pod. We even filled the escape pod with enough food to last a single Terran up to 3 weeks. Our supervisors were beyond disappointed in our performance. No one involved remained a hostage negotiator. All because of the damn Terran, Bill.